So, I've made coffee with the green coffee beans, right? And with the pretty standard popcorn maker. So, I was at a local Mexican restaurant, which is also a grocery store. And I saw something new on their shelf that I had never seen before there or at any other Mexican grocery store. Uh, and I believed it to be cocoa beans, but I looked over and I said, I think those are cocoa beans, but I've never seen cocoa beans, so only in pictures. At any rate, they were cocoa beans, and I bought some. This is what they look like. I don't know how to describe the smell, but the aroma is, I don't know, kind of a weedy kind of hint of cocoa. At any rate, I'm going to roast them with the popcorn maker, and I'm going to process it into chocolate. I'm going to try and do this quick because I know these videos are kind of boring. Okay, so I'm going to warm this up. This thing gets really hot fast. It is a little too hot for coffee, and I don't know about for cocoa, but well, we'll just see how it goes. These do crack and pop like coffee beans, so if I think it's getting too hot, then I'll turn it off and kind of shake it and whatnot. But we do need these roasted so that the shells will come off easily. And also it'll enhance the flavor. They'll be less bitter. Alright, here we go. I think that might be enough. So I did this once before successfully. I'm going to try to do it right again. I may have to shake it. Another thing is I can put this on there to kind of keep the heat in. And watch this so it's a little bit moist. Now I'm doing this indoors. I don't recommend doing coffee indoors because it'll stink up your house. It'll produce a lot of smoke. But this is fine. The cocoa is fine. Roasting the coffee beans, it produces smoke. It smells kind of like burnt grass. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of terrible. Not at all what I thought it would be. I think I can reverse it if I turn this off. Yep. Now, at some point we're going to hear a crack, and that's about when I'm going to want to stop. So one of the things that's cool about doing this is you really appreciate the whole process. You appreciate the growers, you know, the people you know, growing the cocoa, the chocolatiers, which, you know, and on that subject, Little Hot Springs, where we live, has a chocolatier now. I don't know if it had one before, but it has one now. And also, cool guy, with a very cool name. Okay, now it's starting to smell a little bit roasted, a little bit burnt. Now, at some point, if he'll let me, I'll take pictures of his, you know, new chocolate business. But really cool guy, and we're looking forward to eating lots and lots of his chocolate for much of our lives. Now, it is starting to pop, and it does have a roasted kind of smell. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to do this. See, they're moving. Do you hear the roast? They're popping. It's cool. Now, there is some smoke. Hopefully my smoke alarm doesn't go off, but we'll see. Oh, and you know what? It looks like one of the shells came off. See? Now see, I have to take these shells off. But hey, if they're just gonna fall off, that's great. I don't know how the roasting process works, you know, with the professionals. I don't know how they get the shells off, but the shells do have to come off. We're gonna roast this a little bit more. I don't know, I kind of think these are done, but I'm probably wrong. I don't fully know what I'm doing, but here, let me show you how to do it. That's not mansplaining or anything. So this is a learning process. Again, this is a fun thing to do if you really want to appreciate the foods that we all enjoy so much. You know, the coffee and the chocolate, and appreciate everything that brings you these wonderful things. You know, especially the growers, because they work super hard. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit more. And then we'll switch to the shelling process. I'll cut to that. And then I'll put it in the blender. And we'll actually produce the cocoa. Now we have to take the beans that have cooled off a little bit. We've got to crack them open. We have to get what's inside of them. The first time I did this went pretty smoothly. Oh God. Here's the bean. That's what we're after. Now I don't know, there might be a better way of doing this, but I don't know any better way. Sometimes the inside falls apart. See, this is pretty smooth. Oh shoot. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I assume chocolatiers have some kind of a device, some kind of a machine to do this. I really don't know, so. But I'm forced to do it by hand, and I will gladly do it because this will produce some really cool chocolate. I guess this is like shelling, what, peas or something, or you know, if you're from Indiana, you know what that's all about. Processing beans. Yikes. But I guess that's what this is. Is that I don't think that's inside. Okay. So, now they're kind of falling apart in here, you can see. And later I'll kind of like fan them and get some of the chaff out. You know, and you want to inspect the beans, make sure they're okay. You know, some might be, they might have been eaten by a bug or something. You might find a bug in it, or, although I haven't. But, you know, just make sure they're okay. And that's it. That's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we will cut to the making of the actual chocolate in the blender. This is the finished product. Well, it's not the finished. It's the finished until we put it in the dang blender. Okay, so these are the cocoa beans, and they kind of crumble apart. Some of them are a little bit toasty, but I kind of like the flavor they produce. You know, and there you go. That's what's up. So I'm gonna put them in here. Wash your hands.
What is here?
This is a Ninja spice grinder. And I've used it for this before.
Best investment.
Yeah, oh, it's a very good investment. That and the Instapot, really. Okay, so here they are. Now, I'm going to mix, I think this is from Mexico. It's kind of like sugar in the raw a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit in there. Okay. That's to taste. Now, I could just produce cocoa. I could just do that. I don't have to add the milk, but let's go crazy. Let's add a little bit of milk. Even though this is skim milk, I'm sorry. That's all I had. Kind of embarrassed about that, actually. Okay. And I'm going to put this in my coffee, so I'm going to put a little bit more. You can put less. Okay. Now this thing's going to be really crazy loud. Now at first, you know, if you don't add the milk, it'll produce a powder, you know, but eventually this will turn into chocolate. But you have to keep blending it. Sorry, now it's all stuck to the top. Let's see where we're at. Oh, see? More and more like cocoa. Or chocolate, rather. There's some at the top, and that's obscuring the view. I apologize for that. I did add too much milk for this demonstration, but see, it's turning into chocolate. We're going to keep going. Now, I read that the Europeans will do this more, and I don't know what they use, but it makes a smoother chocolate, and that's what I prefer, but... Okay, now we have a problem. It's sticking. It's not getting to the blade. And because it's thickening, so now it's kind of like a Play-Doh. Wow, look at that. That's so cool. See, it's like a Play-Doh. But I want to work this over a little bit more. And in a minute, we're going to try this.
How's it taste?
Ooh, we'll get a spoon and try it. We won't double dip. Well, that might be all I can hope for in this. See, it's really thick. It's kind of like, I don't know, like if you're making fudge or something. But this is, it'll get hard. It'll harden up, and it'll produce an awesome homemade chocolate. Now notice it's not as smooth. You know, it's kind of like, it looks like cement. But you know, I don't have the right equipment to process it long enough that it needs to be, you know, to make it soft, like Dove chocolate or Lindt. And I think we're done. We're gonna grab a spoon and we're going to try it right now. It smells like, I don't know how to explain it. It's got a roasty flavor, or smell, aroma. It's definitely chocolate. It's not as smooth, you know, but my camera person needs to try some. Is it good? It's rough, isn't it? So, this one's a little rough. This, you know, perhaps if we would have roasted it longer, maybe, or if I had the right equipment to blend it to a smoothness, or maybe if I, you know, crunched up the beans and got rid of more of the chaff. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's going to go in my damn coffee, and I love it. So, there you go.